Hello everyone, Shadow SP here, coming with some more Granblue Fantasy. Alright, so last time we were here, we followed representatives of the Enforcer's crew, Alicia and Monica, to their base on Amalthea Island, to assist with the interrogation of the Black Knight. There we met with Io's master, Archduke of Wald's Duchy, Zaka, who had also come to Amalthea to help with the same thing. We were attacked by Imperials in the streets, and came to the realization that they were here to assassinate the Black Knight. So we, along with Alicia and Monica, and the Archduke, rushed to the Black Knight's aid to make sure that she wasn't killed in a prison cell. Through waves of Imperial soldiers, we kind of evacuated the prison cell with the Black Knight in tow. Given that we didn't want to kind of hole ourselves up in one point. And after that, Monica and Alicia split off from us, leaving the Black Knight in our care for some unknown reason. Basically, they went off to deal with the Imperial invasion of their home. And we were left with the Black Knight, who started speaking some things about the accusations against her, which were basically everything that the Empire's ever done that people don't like. Anyone with a brain could have figured out that she probably wasn't responsible for all of that. However, she doesn't admit it until we can come up with some decent arguments as to why she's not. It's not the best, and the Archduke definitely does some fast talking here to kind of brush past his own misdeeds. And eventually, we're kind of the Black Knight comes up to say that the real culprit is the Prime Minister of Frisia. It could be the Emperor, but she's never seen him, and the only one who's really giving orders right now is Frisia. So, she spins a story about how Frisia is planning to sacrifice Luria and Orcus, the girl who'd been with the Black Knight, who was with Frisia on Alonzo, in order to do something. She doesn't really know what she's planning. And Luria, so moved by this, decides that it's time that we ignored the misdeeds of the Black Knight in the past and join up with her to save Orcus. And the rest of the crew follows along with this for reasons. I can understand Eugen's reasoning, because it is revealed that the Black Knight is Eugen's daughter. So I can fully understand why Eugen would be on board with being like, yeah, I'll help her out. So yeah, we join up with the previous bad guy and try to escape the island, cutting through Imperials and eventually the Enforcer's crew alike. We're stopped by a few people, but we managed to push past them and make our way back onto the Grand Cipher and flee. This time we are on our way to Mephorash, where the Black Knight has informed us Frisia has her base of operations. Mephorash being the old Imperial capital before it was the Erste Empire, when it was just the Erste Kingdom. So, without any further ado, let's get moving. Alright, we can leave Amalthea and head toward Mephorash. Okay. A curious team. Yeah, we sure are. Okay, let's pick a random summon. Doesn't really matter. Okay, we'll go with this. Hmm. Should have changed the back line. Those two are max leveled. It's not the biggest deal. Alright. So we're heading toward the island where Mephorash is situated. And there's an awkward silence in the air, of course, given that... Okay, you can stop laughing.
その、なんだ、メフォラシュだっけか今向かってんのはよ。
Rackham couldn't take the silence.
そうだが、
Fair
それ
enough.
が
Man, you are a
どういう街なんだ？
blunt person.
俺は聞いたこともねえが、な、カタリナは知ってるか？
ん？もうすまない。聞いていなかった。何の話だ？
Oh,
お
jeez.
いお
Pay
い、らし
attention,
くねえ
man.
な。どうしたってんだ？
いや。
Alright.
ねえ、あれ帝国の戦艦じゃない？
I mean, that wouldn't be that surprising. It's
Nani?
Imperial territory, right?
そこの気空艇、この先のラビ島は我々エルステ帝国が立ち入りを制限している。寄港するのならばこちらに許可証を見せろ。そうでないのならば即刻引き返せ。
I mean, this is fair. This is perfectly fair. Airspace control would be very important
おい、どう
for
す
these
る？
places.
許可証なんて持ってねえぞ。
And this is pretty much
それどころ
the
か、
most
そもそも私た
legally
ち自身
obtained
お尋ね
imperial
者よね。
territory, given that its
考
origin
えてみれば
land.
当然か。メフォラッシュのあるラビ島はエルステ帝国の正式な領地だからな。
Yeah, like this isn't even territory that was acquired by aggressive expansion or
納得
anything.
してる場合じゃねえぞ。
This
あい
is
つら戦艦からこっちに乗り移ってきや
this
が
is
った。
where they started, even though their current capital is Godstan. Okay, well, you know, I expected this to happen.
まずいな。戦艦は一隻じゃねえ。いちいち相手をしてたらキリがねえぞ。
Now there's more than one battleship. Okay.
すべてを相手にする必要はない。必要な分だけを叩けばいい。
Yeah, but once we land, aren't they gonna, like, impound our airship?
何か作戦があるのか。
策などいらん。
Oh,
ここを強行
jeez.
突破し、島に降りてしまえばことは済む。
That's not how this works. You have to have an escape plan also.
黒騎士って思いのほか熱いやつというか力技が好きよね。
Yeah, basically, he was saying she's a really bullheaded, just straightforward, rush in power player more than a schemer.
しかしだな。この先のラビ島は帝国の領土だろう。島の中にはさらに兵たちが。
Well, obviously, it'd be likely that would happen.
安心しろ。奴らが固めているのは出入りだけだ。
Okay, well,
この島はそういう島だからな。
you would know better than us. That does make sense. So if you say so, we'll have you take we take your word
ど
for
う
it.
いうことだ。
That said, if we push our way past, they will still
信じられんというのか？
probably rush in
か
and
つて
take
エ
our
ルステ
ship.
帝国を取り仕切っていたこの私の言葉が。
I don't know if you really did, given that
それは。
like the other faction,
ここは
Frisia's
黒
faction,
騎士さんを信じてみません
was
か？
also there. I don't know about this.
ルリオ。
Come on, Luria,
きっと
stop.
嘘じゃないです。私なんとなくだけどそんな気がします。
Luria, you really gotta,
論理としてはめち
you
ゃく
really
ちゃ
gotta
だ
stop
が
being
そ
swayed.
れこそが本質だ。いかなる理由を重ねようと信じられぬものは信じられない。人とはそういうものだ。
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
さあどうする？この船は私のものではないからな。
I will
選
say,
択
and
権はお前に
you
あ
know, I
る。
definitely brought it up in the last last video that
そうか。だが礼は言わんぞ。
the biggest reason why we can't
私はこの選
trust
択
the
の結
Black
果を
Knight
何も
is
保
we
証してやれないか
yeah,
ら。
like we have the same immediate objective, but we know she has a different objective that involves using
悩んでる
Orcus
時
for
間はね
something.
えみてえだぜ。連中どんどん攻めて
She
き
just
やが
hasn't
る。
told us what it is yet. And there's no telling if
何
her
にせよ
objective
まずは船を死守
is
しなくちゃな。
actually just worse than what Frisia is trying to do, even if Frisia is trying to kill, you know, sacrifice Orcus and Luria.
黒騎士、あんたにも手伝ってもらう
It
ぞ
could。be way worse. We don't know, and that's a big problem for us.
無論だ。この程度の雑魚。
I mean,
私が一掃してくれる。
you say that, but I know for a fact you're not going to help us out. All right. Now we'll just auto.
ここだ終わりだ
これな。いや、
Should be
ご
just
命令を
fine.
完璧に。すごいにゃ
ここだ終わりだ
ー。私たちのライブ。すごいにゃー。すごい。やりました。主
All
様。
right. That was easy.
私たちの勝利でございます。
I mean, part of that is the fact that our wind grid is by far the most developed at this point. Neutral. I guess I should probably just bring Kaguya for anything that I can squeeze it in on. Because that'll give us some a little experience bonus. A little bit of bonus to drops. Because we like dropped items. Alright, so what is the Black Knight up to? I don't think it's a stealth landing. I'm pretty sure it was a brute force landing. I would not call it a stealth landing. I would call it a dumb
ここがラビ
decision.
となんだかちょっとバルツに似てるわね。
I mean, not really.
バルツも砂ばっかだったもんな。
Because
しかも
Vaults
す
is
っげえ
more like
暑いし、干からびるかと思ったぜ。
ashy volcanic desert kind of things, and this is more like just sandy
バル
desert.
ツの人たちはあの暑さでへばるほどやわじゃないの。
I can understand why you might think it at
だってあの
a
軟
short
弱なトカゲ
glance.
とは全然違うんだから。
Alright, stop being so prickly. We got it.
だとおいらは軟弱じゃねえし、トカゲでもねえっての。
こーら、喧嘩しないの。
しかし本当に古い町だな。こりゃ町ってより遺跡だぜ。
I don't see anything that looks like ruins.
観光気分は結構だが。
Just look at the
油断はするなよ。
background there. Just looks like a bunch of rocks and sand.
だな。現在の首都ではないとはいえ、ここは帝国の領内なのだから。
Yeah, I mean we're invading Imperial territory. That's fair.
いや、その心配はまず必要ない。それよりも、
I don't think that we don't have to worry about it. If Frisia's made her base here, there's gonna be some kind of defenses.
なるほどな。こりゃ油断のならねえ町だぜ。
古い町だから防壁がほとんど機能してないのかもしれないわね。
Sure. I mean, that's fair. If it's old enough, its walls have crumbled, you know, to
と
allow
もかく、
monsters in. I
餌
get
食
it.
になってあげる必要はないわ。
So,
応戦しましょう。
let's just take them down. We've done it before, we'll do it again. You know, I don't really know that it needs to have the qualifier hostile for the monster. I think that
見え
that's
るか？
implied by the fact that we got
あ
rid
れ
of
が
them,
エルステ王国時代に使われていた王宮だ。
and we're not like hunting them actively.
首都をアガスティアに移して以来、表向きあそこには何もないことになっているが。
Okay.
フリーシアはおそらくあそこにいる。あの人形を連れてな。
Sure. I mean, if that's
ねえね
if
え、
you're
アマ
sure.
ルティアでも聞いたけど、どうしてフリーシアはこんな古い町にいるの？
Probably because she's crazy.
特に兵隊さんが多いわけでもないし、この町に何があるっていうの？
何もない。それがこの町の良いところだ。
I mean, I guess if you're doing some sort of
しか
dangerous
しだ。
experiments,
奴がここにいると踏んだのにはちゃんとした理由がある。フリーシアにとって意味があるのはエルステ帝国ではなくエルステ王国なのだ。
But it sounds like there's more
どういうこと？だってあの人は
sentimentalism
エルステ
involved
帝
in
国の
the
宰相さんなんでし
choice.
ょ？
今はな、もともとあの女はエルステ王国の宰相だったのだ。
Yeah, I don't exactly remember the timeline, but
あの女の
Erste
一族は
becoming an empire
代々
was
エルステ王
actually
家
a
に仕え
really
てきたらし
recent
い。
change.
数千年もの間、脈々とな。だから帝国の首都ではなく王国時代の首都を選ぶと睨んだというわけか。そんなところだ。さあ、足を止めるな。気を抜いていては魔物に食われるぞ。
Yeah, I wonder what happened on this island. If the change was actually so recent, why is the city so run down?
行け。
そこかな。
愚か者。
そこ完璧にこ
撃っていいのは撃たれる覚悟のバッ。
この程度か。
Getting some good multi-attack luck. But Kaguya helps with that.
甘いこれのとっておきを見せてあげる。甘いこの覚悟はいいかしら。クリムバースト。悪いわね。
Okay. Got a summon cooldown drop. That's useful.
これで決める。
いいんだな、ルルーシュ。
綺麗事で世界は変えられない。
明日へかけていこう。
Okay. I mean, it's a giant snake, but it's not gonna be very hard to finish at all.
撃っていいのは撃たれる覚悟のあるやつ。行け行け。
この程度か。
Alright. So that's out of the way.
ちょっとやりすぎちゃったかしら。
Yeah, that doesn't. Right. I wasn't really thinking about it. That rare monster was a penguin, wasn't it? What the hell is a penguin doing in the middle of the desert? Alright. Let's move
し
along.
かし本当に街の中では兵を見ないな。一体どういうことなんだ。魔物も出るというのに島に降りてからというものほとんど兵の姿を見かけない。本来ならば街中に現れた魔物など街を守る兵が始末するはずだが、ここに配備されている兵は街を守るためにいるわけではない。
Yeah, I mean that makes that's probably right.
町の住人たちを守ることが目的ではない。 町の秘密を守ることが目的な
So
の
are there people still living here? In like a
島
ruined
の周
city?
囲を守る戦艦にしてもそうだ。あれは島への侵入を阻むと同時に
Okay.
島から人を出さないためでもある。
I mean, that kind of sucks. They're basically confining these people to this arid wasteland.
じゃあここの人たちは。
島を出ることはできない。エルステ帝国の許可なしにはな。まあ許可が出た前例など少なくとも私は知らんがな。つまりそれはエルステはこの町の住人たちを見殺しにしているということか。
I mean, that is kind of a harsh decision.
そうだな。言い訳をするつもりはない。貴様、
Oh, come on.
私を非道と罵りたくば
It's not
好き
like
にするといい。
it's not like she really did anything about it.
だがな、私には何を犠牲にしようとも
All right, calm down.
成し遂げねばならぬ望みがあるのだ。
Unless you're gonna tell us what that
どれだけ
is,
大切なもの、
stop going on about it.
大切な場所を失おうと私は必ず成し遂げねばならんのだ。
黒騎士さん。
オルキスのために、彼女のために進み続ける。私はそう決めたのだ。そのためなら何だって捨ててやる。誇りも安らぎも思い出も私自身の命さえもな。
All right, calm down. I didn't ask.
やれやれ。アマルティアからこっちどうにもピリピリしてんな。
Well, yeah, I mean, we're traveling with someone who is
だよな。
on
お
paper
いら、息が詰まっ
supposed
ち
to be
ま
our
いそうだ
enemy.
ぜ。仕方ないじゃない。だって私たちは今、
Yes.
あの黒騎士と一緒にいるのよ。
I mean, think about it.
カタリナは特にいろいろと思うところもあるだろうし、
At the
空
very
気だって
least,
重くなっちゃうわよ。
she was involved in a plan that
なんつうか、その、
angered Leviathan to try to,
Smart.
you know, have it go on a rampage,
あなたが謝ることじゃないわ。
which we
あ
did
の子は
stop,
全てを自分で
which
決め
was
た
part
ん
of
だ
the
から。
steps, and
い
she
や、しかし
also,
な、
you
こん
know,
なんでも俺は、
unnecessarily
あいつの親だからよ。
on,
じゃ
in the Lunacy
あの子の
Archipelago.
やったこと全ての責任をあなたが取るっていうの？
Yeah. I mean, there's
国を乗っ取り、侵略を進め、
definitely a point
たくさ
where
ん
you
の人たちを
can't.
犠牲にしてきた。
There's definitely got to be a point where you can't cover for someone's anymore.
バルツの太閤さんが言うように、黒騎士は直接手を下してなかったとしても、あの子はそれを見届けてきた。見殺しにしてきた。その罪をあなたにあがなえるの？
Hmm.
いや、それは。
意地悪言ってごめんなさい。でもね、
Yeah.
黒騎士だっていつまでも子供じゃないわ。
I mean, that's true.
もう立派に親のあなたでも面倒が見きれないほどたくさんのことを成し遂げてきた。
But I mean, there's definitely still some room to say, you know, I want to help,
それが悪
you
事
know,
で
my
あれ、
family, my child,
善事で
something
あれ、
like that.
とにかく彼女もいろいろなものを重ねてきたのよ。
She definitely doesn't want it though, because she obviously hates me.
それを認めてあげて、その上で父親がすべきことって 他にあるんじゃない？
俺がすべきことか。
なあロゼッタ、つくづく思うんだが、あんた本当に何者なんだ？
Oh, yeah, you finally caught on? Yeah.
もしかしてオイゲンよりも年上なんじゃねえのか？
I've been asking her who she is, what she's
女性
even
に年を
doing
尋ねるの
for
は
a very long
無礼だ
time.
と習わなかったのかしら？なんてね。女の魅力は秘密の数だけ増すものよ。イオちゃんもよーく覚えておいてね。
No, stop it. Don't try to indoctrinate the children.
いいお返事。
No, she's
それじゃあ行きましょうか。
yeah.
囚われのお姫様を救いにね。
See, Io's an impressionable young girl who really wants to be, a lady, right? So if you throw the right bait on, she's gonna do what you say.
すごいにゃ
All right.
ー校長のやりました主様
So yeah, we're taking down some monsters.
やりました
Nothing
主
special.
様
We do this every day. You know the drill. Okay, got some stuff. And we move forward. Water. Okay. Water's pretty weak with what we've got. So let's actually bring an elemental summon. And that was a weird voice.
今の悲鳴は向こうからだ。行くぞ。
Alright. Let's go.
え、あ、おい。まあ、行っちまったよ。
あんなこと言ってたけどやっぱり黒騎士も自分の国の人は大事なのね
I don't know. We still don't have any clue what our motivation for going in here would be.
というよりあれは
ってオイラたちもボヤボヤしてる場合じゃねえぜ
Now, if you've watched these, you probably know why I would press the text box button. This line is wrong. The second sentence is completely wrong. She does kind of ask, is that really the case? Whatever. The second line that Catalina says there is actually, other than, putting that aside, that is kind of referring to what was going on, over there. The scream, where the Black Knight went. It's the second line is just something that was made up.
ですね行きましょう
Alright. So we head forward. Do the side-scrolling bit. Alright, calm down. There's nothing that
あり
strong
が
out
とう
here.
ございます旅の方。兵隊さんたちは島の周りを守るばっかりで町には見向きもしてくれませんで。
Wouldn't you be concerned that there are travelers here? Considering that nobody's allowed to come
本
here?
当になんとお礼を言ったらいいか。
いや怪我は
おどうしたんだよ急にそっぽ向いて
黙れ。さあ行くぞ。
Okay.
ああ、お待ちください旅の方。大したものはお出しできませんがせめて うちでお礼を。
That's a.
あなた、
It's a.
どこかで。
That line there was not a
やべえ
mistranslation,
ぞ。
but it
も
was
しかしてあのばあさん黒騎士だって気づい
extra
たんじゃん。
verbose in the English for some reason.
でも
I mean, I
あ
can
の
appreciate
ご
it.
つい鎧
I'm
の中身が
a
女の
pretty
人なんて
verbose person
誰
myself.
も思わないわよ。
確かにな。けどここは帝国の領地だし、鎧を外したこともあるのかもしれね
Yep, we don't know what's been going on in Imperial territory. But we do know that interruption monsters have appeared.
まだ残っていたか。この町は貴様ら低俗な魔物ごときが荒らしていい場所じゃない。
どういうことだ。さっき黒騎士はこの町の住人は見殺しにすると。
Well, she didn't say she would actively do it, just that if it was something that was getting in the way of her accomplishing her objectives, she would do
今
it.
このご婦人を助けるのが最優先だ。
Right? It's not like she's saying, I am going to kill these people so I can save Orcus or something. It's no, she's saying, if their sacrifice is needed, I'll do it. It's completely different. Nice, good job, game. Tell me to bring a water team, and the first enemies are... I love it. Alright.
みんな勇気を出して。大好きがあれば大丈夫。
終わりだ。
It's not too hard to push through, but we did want to bring sorry, we did want to start with the charge attack. Actually, without taking any hits. I mean, not that it really matters. We're strong enough that we should be able to push through just brute force style.
よっ。覚悟はできている。
おしまいだ。
Alright. Well, golem down. We don't have any merits, so we won't be able to uncap Catalina. We should be able to uncap Lancelot. And we don't have any merits, so we won't be able to uncap Leo. Should be able to uncap this guy, though. Alright. Just want to keep up with the uncaps kind of as much as possible so our characters get some more base stats. They're not the most important thing in the world. Your grid stats are more important, but character stats do matter. Alright. That is a fire fist, so that might be something worth doing, because we don't have very many fist weapons.
ああ、やっぱり。あなたは。
やべえ、完全にバレちまったみてえだぞ。
I mean, okay.
仕方ねえ。すぐにここから逃げ。
I mean, it didn't sound like a hostile. I know
ア
who
ポ
you
ロ
are.
ちゃん、アポロニアちゃんじゃないのかい？ねえ、そうだろ？
Hmm. Ah, yes. Someone who knew her in the
おば
past.
あちゃん、この人を知ってるの？
ああ、ずいぶん久しぶりだがね。こんなに立派になって。一目見ただけじゃ誰だかわからなかったよ。
Which does make sense as to why the Black Knight was trying to leave
そうだ
as fast
ね。
as possible. Basically trying to
10
avoid
年
being
ぶりくらい
recognized.
かい？ああ、そうか。ちょうどあの頃だったね。オルキス様のことは本当に残念で。
オルキスちゃんのことを知ってるんですか？
そりゃあ知ってるも何も。オルキス様は このエルステの王女様じゃないか。
どういうことだ。説明しろ、黒騎士。
Ah,
こ
man.
のご婦人の言っていることに何一つ間違いはない。オルキスはエルステ帝国の前身である。エルステ王国の王
I
女
guess
であ
the
る。
group that we have assembled isn't particularly politically knowledgeable.
私の
So they wouldn't have this knowledge really. I guess
たった一人
Eugen
の
probably
親友だった
should, but because he's supposed to be well traveled, but maybe he just never hit this side of the skydom, right? Well, yeah, I mean, clearly things are strange, right? The Orcus we know has been being led around by the Black Knight, referred to as a doll. Right, there's definitely some weirdness going on here. So let's see what's going on. Push forward. You know what? Let's just bring water. Kaguya. There we go. Sometimes it's under the water tab. I couldn't really tell you why. It's not a water summon. I would generally put it under.
だから私たちには予定が。
All tab.
まあそう言わずに、アポロちゃんたちに命を救われて何にもお礼をしないなんて。それに申し訳ないんだけど、
Get
うちまで
that.
の道でまた魔物が出たらと思うと。
Right. Old lady's feeling, you know, I've met up with someone I used to know, you know, who I knew as a little girl. You kind of want to at least have a small conversation. And she's not wrong. There's been monsters that we've seen all over the place, so they very well could appear on the way back home.
これは何かの罠とかじゃないよな。
I don't know. This is a pretty elaborate trap if it is.
それはない。確かにあのご婦人は私も知っている。それに私は黒騎士として過ごしている間、鎧を外したことはなかったからな。今の私の姿を見て、帝国の黒騎士だと気づける者はそう多くはない。
Yeah, so this line here, she's not saying this. She said while she was acting as the Black Knight, she never took off her armor. I don't believe you. I legitimately do not believe you. That would be unbearably uncomfortable.
ところで、さっきの話、後で詳しく教えてく
Also,
れ
it'd
るのよ
probably
ね。
be really bad for your body to wear your armor at all times.
案ずるな。それより今は話を合わせておけ。下手に大騒ぎした方が面倒だ。
Even if armor's not as bad as, you know, a lot of people think it is, it's not something that you should wear unless you're planning on fighting.
さあさあ、こちらですよ。
Or for show. I mean, there's
うちに
definitely
着
an
いたら
argument that they
ど
should
ん
wear
な
it
ご
for
ちそうを
show.
出してあげようかね。
Alright. So here we go.
ねえ、
Side
おば
scrolling
あちゃん
bit.。It's a
なん
wonder
だい？
how anyone survives in this world with how many monsters there
エ
are.
ルステ王国の王女様、オルキス様ってどんな子だったんですか？
そうだね。そりゃあもう元気で明るい子だったさ。あの頃はビオラ女王が国を治めててね、その一人娘だったんだけど。
Yeah, they give Orcus in past tense here.
けれ
in all
ど
these
も
descriptions,
気取らない
so-
いい子でね。女王陛下と一緒によく街を回ったりして。
We're definitely getting the impression that she's passed away
オルキスちゃんが
based on the the woman's words.
それじゃあ
In like she's saying in like a reminiscing tone.
アポロニアさんとは。
ああ、二人は年も近くって、そりゃもう仲良しでね。
And I see how we're being extra like
ほら、アポロ
Luria
ちゃん
has。
intentionally
changed the way she's
あ
referring
の
to
お
the Black
祭り
Knight.
の日
She
に
was referring
二
her
人し
to
て
as
うち
the
の
Black
店
Knight.
へ来て。
But now around this old woman, she's referring to her
忘れたな。
Apollonia. Probably to avoid,
そうかい。
outing her
と
other
もかく
identity.
二人は姉妹みたいでね。可愛かったもんさ。
おいおい、こりゃ一体どういうことなんだ？わ
Apollonia seems very uncomfortable.
かんないわよ。もう私にはよくわかんないってことしかわかんないわ。
So what you're saying is you don't really understand anything.
明らかに私たちには何か重要な情報が欠けているようだ。
Well, yeah. Isn't that obvious?
だな。オルキスちゃんが王女様だの、黒騎士と年が近いだの。
So, no. I mean, that's
何が何だかさっぱりわからねえ。これが兵士たちの守るこの町の秘密だってのか？
there's other stuff that we need to know too, like what she's trying to accomplish.
娘のことだってのに、俺にはこんなに知らないことがあるんだな。
Well, yeah, given that, at least when we take her words
ともか
into
く
account, you were
今は
never
待ちましょ
around.
う。あの子もついにいろいろ話す気になったみたいだしね。
Alright.
いや終わりだ。
これなにやりました、主様。これなやりました、
Really do
主様。
enjoy the passive multi-attack buff that,
ここだ。終わりだ。
makes for clearing stages a lot easier.
やりました、主様。
決着をつけよう。いやここだ。
当然よね。
Alright, simple enough.
私たちの勝利でございます。
Hey, look, we got some garbage. It's all good. Some of that might be useful at some point. Alright, Earth. It's kind of interesting that here in Mephorash we've been kind of swapping around where we are in terms of elemental alignment. I mean, makes for more interesting gameplay. We have to actually
二
switch
人は
stuff
本
around.
当に仲が良くてね。
Alright, she didn't care about the interruption
けど、
monster. She just kept
あん
going.
なことがあって、あれ以来この国は変わっちゃってね。
Yes, the incident. What incident? Stop beating around the bush. Come
大
on,
事な
man.
ものをたくさん失って。だからアポロちゃんもこの国を離れたんだろう。
そうだな。私にとってもあれは大きなきっかけだ。しかし私は失ったままでいるつもりはない。失ったすべてを諦めはしない。取り返すため、すべてをあるべき形に戻すため、
Yeah, but
私は戻ってきたん
could
だ。
you people stop talking in circles around what you actually want to say? Because I have no idea. Like, we have, as the crew, have no idea what you're talking about. There was some incident, and something went wrong. So the Black Knight is here to do something to put everything right. Do you realize I'm saying too many somethings here.
必ず全てを説明してもらうぞ。
分かっている。遅かれ早かれこうなることは覚悟していた。貴様らには知る権利がある。それを奪うつもりはない。
Alright, well, what are you going to talk about? your goals, the past. There's way too many things we need to ask.
だがこれは私のわがままでしかないが、今この場は話を合わせてほしい。必ず話す。それは約束しよう。
There's a part of this line in this selfish request bit that's not translated. She says her selfish request. She does actually say what it is, right? She's saying play along with me while we're here.
しかし真実は全てのものに聞かせるわけにはいかないのだ。黒騎士。
さあさあ、もうすぐですよ。もうちょっとだけ頑張ってちょうだいね。
So basically, she's going to engage in some lying and misleading, and wants us to play along with that. All right. I mean, I'm okay with that. As long as it lets us learn the truth about a lot of things that we want to know.
この一刀を鼻抜けとしよう。天津工事終わりだ。
終わりかい。
どうだ。決まったな。どうだ。決まった。
終わりだ。
All right.
当然の結果だ。
Well, that was simple enough. Hey, we got a new harp. I don't care. Sorry, if we get an R rank weapon, I do want to check every time I see it to make sure if it has a skill or not. Those are both useless. Yeah, mithril weapons, unfortunately, aren't very useful because they don't have skills. So when we graduated past the point of using our weapons as our main hands, they can't be used for anything except for a little bit of experience or selling them for a little bit of rupees. Alright, so we're in the old woman's house.
話してもらおうか、黒騎士。
And we have
貴殿
separated
の知
from
る
her,
真
it
実をな。
seems.
そうだな。どこから話したものか。まず私がアウギュステの出身だということはどうやらすでに知っているようだな。
Well, yeah.
ああ。それでどうしてこの島に知り合いがいるんだ？
Well, I mean...
そう焦るな。確かに私はアウギュステで育ったが、それは随分幼い頃までだ。
Right. She had a... Oh, how do we
ちょ
say
うど
this?
そこの小娘くらいの年か。その頃に私の母が亡くなった。
Hold on. I want to see what the next line is before I say anything. Okay. It's just Eugen making some sort of reaction face. Alright. We gotta talk about this line here. So, the Japanese text does not actually specifically refer to anyone. Right, it says in English Luria's age. So first off, we don't actually know what Luria's age is. I don't even know if Luria knows what Luria's age is. She has a very weird memory problem, according to... Because she doesn't know what her origins are, right? However, Black Knight's line here actually says I was, around that little girl's age, that young girl, Komusune. Like little girl, young girl, something like that. So I'd say that the most likely person that she's referring to is actually Io. Because she's the one that most aptly fits that description. But it is left unclear because it's not specifically referential. And that does happen a decent amount in Japanese language. You'd expect this to be accompanied by some sort of gesture or a glance, but we don't get those because this game uses static sprites.
母が亡くなった時、その男は島にいなくてな。
Also, same thing here. She doesn't refer to him by name. She just says, that man. Right? It's a level of disrespect that she has for her father, right? She's displaying it in words, which makes sense in English when we'd say, you know, call your father by name, by their first name. It's like kind of slightly disrespectful, but like she's not even acknowledging that he's here, basically. Like, that man. Anyway.
身寄りを失った私はアウギュステ経済特区の支援を受け、特待生としてエルステ王国に渡ったのだ。エルステはこのファータグランデ空域でも有数の長い歴史を持つ国だったからな。星の民襲来以前より続く王国は歴史を学ぶには最高の環境だった。
So I wonder then. No, I'll talk about that after the chapter, just to
当時の彼女は嫌に幼くてな。
just to deal with it.
最初は私よりも年下だと思ったくらいだ。しかしそれゆえに純真で明るく、私にないもの全てを持っていた。年が同じでもこうも違うのかと驚いたよ。そして同時に妬ましくもあった。だが彼女がおごることは決してなかった。誰に対しても分け隔てなく優しかった。よく笑い、よくはしゃぎ、よく食べる。隣にいるだけで元気になれる、そういう子だったんだ。
So happy, bright, energetic,
ルキスちゃんが
reasonable.
彼女のご両親、ビオラ女王陛下たちも私に優しくしてくれたな。私は一生かかっても返しきれないほどの恩を受けたよ。オルキスと共に過ごした年月は間違いなく私の中で最も幸せな時間だった。女王陛下たちから受けた恩、彼女と過ごした幸せな時間、私はそれを決して忘れない。だから私は彼女、オルキスを取り戻すためならいかなる犠牲も払う、そう決めたのだ。
So it's basically a sense of like she owes them something, and that, I mean, I'm pretty sure that she was actually, you know, since she spent the time with her, she was actually friends with Orcus, right? So I can kind of understand the objective there. But there's definitely some
昨日
problems.
の話いろいろ気になっちゃってよく寝られなかったわ。
寝不足はお肌の天敵よ。レディーを目指すのなら覚えておかなくちゃね。
No, that's not what we're talking about. Stop
それに
trying to give her beauty
今日こ
tips.
そはあの王宮に乗り込むことになるでしょうね。
I mean, why not? We don't have anything else
油断は
to
で
do.
きないわ。気を引き締めて進みましょう。
Right, so I'll pause here for a second. I'm wondering, when the Black Knight said this area, Erste, the kingdom, has a long past since even before the Astrals came, like the Astral invasion. I'm wondering if the ruins that we've seen were from that time period, which would make a lot more sense as to why everything's in ruins, right? Because the Astral's invasion happened, like over 1,000 years ago. We don't know how long ago it was exactly, but it was so long ago that it's outside of recorded history, essentially. In most places, right? But like, it's a long time ago. So I'm wondering if those ruins are from that era, and I think that would make a lot more sense than being from the Erste Kingdom era, because that wasn't all that long ago. And people could still technically live among the ruins, right? It's still a place that there are people living. So I'm just curious, right, as to what the structure of where people are living looks like, as opposed to the structure of the ruins where we first came off the Grand Cipher. But yeah, I mean that could make sense. I think that's where I think that is the assumption I want to work under, is that those ruins are from that time period. Because the other option doesn't really make any sense.
昨日黒騎士さんが話してくれたことは全て真実なんですか？
もちろん。オルキスについてはあのご婦人も言っていた通りだ。
I mean, anybody can say that they're telling the truth. However, I would say it's reasonably likely that she's telling the truth. Yes, please. That was something that was completely omitted.
それをまだ話していなかったな。
You're trying to avoid talking about it.
だが、
I'm not gonna forget.
残念ながら私もあの日、あの場所には居合わせなかった。
We didn't ask.
何かがあったというのだな。あのご婦人の話では10年ほど前だったか？
そうだ。10年ほど前のある日、オルキスのご両親は死に、彼女は今の人形のようになった。オルキスはあの日以来、成長が止まり、心を失い、人形のようになってしまった。
おいおい。何が起きたらそんなことになるってんだよ。
I mean, I don't...
青少銃だ。青少銃に絡んで事故があったらしい。
I would say I don't really believe you.
らしいというのは？
私が駆けつけた
Also,
時に
since you
は、
weren't there, right?
すべてが
You
終わ
wouldn't
っていた。
necessarily know the truth.
私は後になって、その場に居合わせていたフリーシアから、すべて
Yeah.
を教えられたのだ。
Yeah, that's why we shouldn't
表向
believe
き
it.
女王とその夫、すなわちオルキスの両親は国外で事故死と報じられ、
Frisia is both of our enemies, so we shouldn't really believe her
その
account
一
of
人
the
娘のオルキス王女は
incident.
行方不明ということになっている。
There definitely
So,
was an incident, right?
国民には知らされている。
But we don't
けど
really.
実際は行方不明ではなく、今のオルキスちゃんになって 帝国にかくまわれてるってわけね。
We don't really know what happened because we weren't there. You weren't there.
そうだ。そして私はあの日以来、必ずオルキスを元に戻すと誓ったのだ。
Freesia being there and telling you all of this stuff.
後のことは貴様らも知っている通り。
There was a scheme going on.
挙句フリーシアに裏切られ、今に至るというわけだ。
That's what the writer's brain in me is saying.
それが黒騎士の目的だったのね。
アポロ、お前そんなことを。
Also, we didn't get any information about this primal beast.
けどよ、元に戻すったってどうやって元に戻すんだよ。
案ずるな。方法はある。だがそのためには今のオルキスが、あの人形が必要なのだ。
Okay.
今貴様らにその方法を話すことはできない。
Of course not.
だが、少なくともあの人形を取り戻すということでは、今の我々の目的は一致している。雌雄を決するならば、人形を取り返した後だ。
Hold on.
まずは進むぞ。
Alright.
あの王宮へとな。
There's no translation problems. This is a big red flag, right here. This is a huge red flag. If you can't talk about about the method that you're going to use, that means that it's going to be bad for us. Basically, you saying what you're going to do means that we are not going to help you anymore. Red flags. Big red flags. I'm out. I'm leaving. No more. She's told us all this other stuff and refuses to talk about what she's planning on doing in the future? Nah, I'm done. No more. We can't work together anymore. You know, I suppose we can't call these distraction monsters because they're Imperial soldiers, but they are distractions. Alright, good stuff. Okay. Making progress. This is worthless. We got some cloth. Okay. Cool. Back to wind. Keep up with Kaguya so we can keep getting more experience. We do like experience points after all. Alright. So we fought our way through to the palace,
どうだルリア、
right?
何か感じるか？
今のところ何も。
I mean, I wouldn't really rely on Luria's
なんだお
senses.
前らは。その青い少女。
I mean, Luria didn't recognize that Noah was a primal.
さすがにこの周りには帝国の連中もいるってわけか。
So Luria's senses are pretty patchy at best.
そうか。貴様ら指名手配の。
Sure.
悪いがここは通してもらうぜ。
Yeah.
俺たちはその王宮の中に用があるんでな。
Yeah, this kind of thing never goes well for the guys who are, you know, nameless soldier A is never gonna manage to stop us. Let's just put it that way.
よし、これであとは乗り込むだけか。
Just because narratively that would be a wild
いやまだ
direction
だ
to go in.
来るぞ。構えろ。
何？
あの兵士たちは威嚇のために置いていただけだろうな。このゴーレムこそがこの王宮の真の守護者だ。
チッ、まだこんなデカブツが残ってやがったとはな。
老いぼれの身には連戦は厳しいか。
けっ、バカ言うんじゃねえ。年季の違う戦いってやつを見せてやる。
I mean, to be frank, neither of you are fighting.
あの女がここの守護を任せるくらいだ。
So,
このゴーレムは間違いなく強い。
if you're gonna have like,
油断
a
するな。
verbal argument, go do that somewhere else. Okay, well, good old. Isn't this just? Didn't it? Did they just misspell golem there? Maybe.
これなかえい。
You know what? It'll go faster if I
Lancelot.
actually push the button.
ME ブースト。
ミュージックスタート。私がそばにおります。もう意味わかんない。負けていられません。畳みかけますよ。
誰も傷つけさせない。容赦はしない。
Just because the stage has enough HP that it kind of warrants pushing the button.
終わりだ。
Alright. I mean, we could have turned on full auto, but that would have taken a little bit of effort. And I didn't really want to put that in. Okay, what is this? Usually books are staff weapons, which I don't think we have a water staff at the moment, but we don't really need one. I mean, I'll
これ
do
で
all the
今
side
度こそ
stories at
あ
some
とは
point,
乗り込むだけか。
just so we can expand
け
our
ど
roster.
どうして兵隊さんじゃなくてわざわざゴーレムを置いてたのかしら。
簡単な話だ。エルステの王宮の守りは昔からゴーレムが担うと決まっている。
I mean,
ゴーレムという存在はエルステの民
I
にとっ
think
て
that
誇りの象徴でもあるからな。
on average, I think it's supposed to be
どういうこと？
golems are estimated as stronger than
かつ
the
て
foot soldiers, right?
星の民が襲来するよりも以前、ゴーレムの製造で栄えた国があった。
Yeah, I'm definitely sensing something here.
その時代、ゴーレムは最大の戦力であり、国は栄華を極めたそうだ。
I can't say exactly what it is. I mean, I could, but I'm not
しかし、
going to. Because
星の民の襲
because
来
I
に
know
より、
what happened, but this
ゴー
is
レムは
definitely
最強
some,
の兵器の座を聖少獣に明け渡
there's
すこと
definitely
になる。
some, you know, the writer in me, right, is telling me that,
1000年
is
以
telling
上
me,
も前
like,
の
this
エルステの古い昔話だ。
is not going to be just exposition. This is going to be some foreshadowing of some sort.
ふーん。エルステ王国ってそういう国だったのね。
そうだ。
Because we the people
だから
don't,
ゴーレ
like,
ムはエルステに
we
と
the
って
players
欠かせない存
probably
在
don't
なの
care
だ。
too much about why there's a golem here.
さて、 無駄話が過ぎたな。もう障害はない。このまま王宮に乗り込むぞ。
If the creation of golems wasn't something that was important,
おそらく
they
だ
would
が
have just left it as
フリーシアが待ち構
the
えて
Erste Kingdom always stationed golems
決して
as
気
their
を抜くん
guards,
じゃないぞ。
and that would have been the end of it. It's a little clunky. This probably isn't the best place to put that dialogue, considering we're not in a safe location, and we just kind of stood around and had a long conversation. But it makes sense. You know, we need to put that information somewhere, so if it's going to be relevant in the next chapter, then we do need to have that conversation kind of as soon as possible. And right before we enter the palace is the only place that it could really fit. So we'll see if that's the case. And you know, before if anyone's watching and saying that I'm, you know, referencing knowledge that I had from the game, I am to an extent. I remember the big story beats. I don't remember the order they happened in. The last time I played through the main story like this, it's been several years already since I've been at this point in story quests. So I do not remember a single detail. Alright. We're stalking the palace grounds.
この王宮も変わらんな。
I mean, that's not an inaccurate way
いや、
to describe what we're trying to do.
幾千を数えるエルステの歴史の前に、10年程度では刹那にもならんか。
I mean, does that
黒
matter?
騎士さんはここに来たことがあるんですか？
Didn't she give a whole conversation about how
私
she
も半分ここで育ったようなもの
hung
だ。
out with the princess?
オ
Yeah,
ルキスと共にな。
it only makes sense that she's been to the
そうな
palace
んですね。
before.
ここで黒騎士さんとオルキスちゃんが。
この中は人の気配がする
So
な。
really what I'm getting is
帝国の連中が海に
Luria
いる
was
みたい
not
だ。
paying attention when the conversation back in the old woman's house was happening.
それでオルキスちゃんはこの王宮のどこにいるんだ？
さすがにそこまではわからん。くまなく探すしかないだろうな。まだ教習に立ち止まる余裕はなかったな。進もう。まずはこちらから探すぞ。
Sure. Whatever. Take the lead.
どうした？急に立ち止まって。
あの辺り。そこで私はよく彼女と一緒に本を読んでいた。
And we're getting the kind of melancholy
オルキスは
music
落ち
here.
着きがなかったからな。私と一緒に本を開いてもすぐに飽きてしまって。それを見かねて女王陛下がオルキスを捕まえて私の隣に戻すんだ。それでもやっぱり彼女はすぐに飽きて外で遊ぼうと私を誘った。
見つけたぞ侵入者め貴様ら
I was gonna
ここ
say
をどこだと心得る
the way that the voice line ended there sounded like she's either getting
貴様こ
interrupted
そ
or decided to interrupt
ここが
herself.
どういう場所か分かっているのか。ここは私と彼女とあの方々の場所だ。
I don't think this random foot soldier actually
何も
knows
知らない
what
ゲス
character-
が
what your
土足で踏み荒らしていいような場所ではないぞ。
He's not here because he wants to be. He's here because he's under orders.
貴様何者だ何を知っている
様が知らぬ全てだ。その全てが私の思い出なのだ。
Okay, but that doesn't answer his question, like, at all. He's still standing there
それ
confused.
を踏みにじった罪、貴様の命であがなってもらうぞ。
Man, she's really just gonna kill this guy. You know what? We probably don't really have a choice.
ここだ。いや、終わりだ。
これなや好調のようですね。
ここだ。終わりだ。
えいえいはやりました、主様。すごい。
ここだ。
えいえいえいやりました、
No, I'm not sure about the
主様。
logistics
私たちの勝利でございます。
of bringing in the Suzaku's mech into the palace. I don't think it would fit. Like, not in the little rooms at least. And probably not in the palace to begin with. I mean, maybe, depending on how grand the scale is, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Alright.
なんだ、何か食い物の匂いでもしたか？違います。そうじゃなくて、
Yeah, really, it's not the
こ
time for
の
that.
建物、時々すごく懐かしい匂いがするんです。絶対に知ってる匂いが。
I mean, I'd assume it smells like,
懐かしい匂いだ。
I don't know,
ってことは、ルリア
Depends on
も
how
イル
well
ステの出身なのか？
they've maintained it, but if they haven't maintained it
そう
incredibly
な
well,
んでしょうか。
I'd probably think that it's
私もこの王宮に？
something to the effect
残
of
念だが、
dust.
それはない。
黒騎士さん。
確かに人形とルリアは似た能力を持っているが、その本質は全くの別物だ。
Well, at least we're learning something about Luria. She's been a complete, black box style mystery.
現象として同じように見えるものの、そもそも能力の原理からして二人の能力は別のものだ。
じゃあ私は
エルステの出身ではない。それだけは確かだ。
そうですか。
Well, if she's not from Erste, then the question does come up as to where and how the Empire found and captured her. Right? Because she was a research subject for them, that the Empire had before, escaping near our island, or on our home island. So I'm curious as to where they picked her up.
しかしそれでいくと黒騎士、貴殿は二人の能力の正体を分かっているのか？
Yeah, so we just had to run through some monsters, some
少なくとも
not monsters, probably
人形の
soldiers.
方の能力については大体の見当がついている。
あら、
And then we just continue our
面白そうじゃない？
conversation.
聞かせてもらえるかしら？
考えればわかることだ。
That's not what. No, that's not an answer.
まず、そもそも青少獣とは誰に作られた？
星の民でしょ？だから青少獣って言うんじゃないの？
So this is an awkward translation, but it's kind of because of the direction that they went with the translation from the beginning, right? So, essentially, when we look at the word for the primal beasts in Japanese, seishoju, where it's basically because it's they're more talking along the lines of something like crystals, stuff like that, which has been brought up when we talk about Colossus. You know, like primal crystals or something like that, way back in vaults. So it's an awkward translation, but they kind of wrote themselves into a corner, right? And Hoshinotami, you know, the astrals, Seishoju is like basically like, how do we say this? Like, it's like, sorry, I'm not the best at on the spot translations, but it's kind of referring to the astrals. So it's like something to do with like the stars, crystals, and beasts as where we're at. So yeah, they wrote themselves into a weird spot, but they kind of had to do it this. So they had to do it this way.
おおむね正解だ。そもそも聖書銃は何者かに使われるために作られたのだ。
But what they really should have done is gave you a slightly different second line as opposed to
聖書銃を使うことのできるものが存在するのは決して不自然なことではない。
でもそれって星の民しか。じゃあまさか。
結論をせくな。オルキスの母君はエルステ王国最後の女王だ。エルステの王族は数千年前から続く血筋であり、その系譜は星の民襲来以前まで遡る。つまりオルキスは少なくとも半分は絶対に星の民ではないということだ。
半分はってこと。じゃあその残りの半分が。
そうだ。オルキスの父君は星の民だったんだよ。破空戦争の生き残りの名。つまり彼女は星の民と空の民の根血なんだ。
そのような存在があり得るのか。相手は別の世界の存在だぞ。
Sure, but apparently it works.
あり得るらしいな。ただ当時のオルキスは星の民としての力など使えなかった。聖書銃を使えるようになったのはおよそ10年前。彼女が人形になってしまってからだ。
Definitely thinking of if the father, you know, the queen's
オルキスがあんなことをできるのにはそういう経緯があったわけね。
One of these astrals that could feed into the conspiracy theory as to like there being a plot.
心と未来を失って代わりに得た能力と見るべきか。
Back in the day where the incident took place.
高すぎる代償だな。神の一つや二つ操れたところで彼女の未来には変えられないというのに。
Yeah.
たく頭の痛くなる話だぜ。
I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense, right?
破空戦争の生き残りってあれは何百年も前の話だろ。生き残りの子孫ってことか。
Yeah. We'll just put past that.
いや、生き残りの本人そのものさ。
Alright, so that's pretty
しかし、
clear.
私の目から見ても、女王陛下と変わらぬ年の頃に見えた。
That's a pretty clear testimony that astrals do not have the same kind of.
おいおいおい。
either
ってこと
lifespan
は
or
星の民は不老不死だってのか？
or their like
かもしれんな。
what do you
結
call it?
局あの方は亡くなってしまったが。
The way that they live as
その問題はここで悩ん
creatures
で
could
も
be very different
結論
from
の
us.
出るものじゃないわ。
Like the humans of
だろう
Skyrim.
な。俺たちには知らねえことが多すぎるし、確かめる術だってありゃしねえ。
Yeah, so
そんなら
apparently
今
Orcus'
は
father
とにかく進もうぜ。わかんねえこと悩んでたって頭
did
が
get
痛くなっちまうだ
confirmed
けだぜ。
dead back when the incident occurred. So that's worth noting. Alright. Hey, look, it's a slime.
これなに次やったのや。
Okay.
ラ
Yeah.
ンスロット
Nope, hold on.
ME ブースト。
私がそばにおります。畳みかけますよ。
I hate slimes. Alright, we're gonna have to delay for a couple turns.
ここだ。
これなやえい。
決着をつけよう。
これなや。リンの本気見せてあげるにゃ。
And as for Kaguya, right? Basically, when you look at the summons, if it says a percentage here, it's dealing skill damage, and slimes resist skill damage. But you look at Tiamat, it does not do skill damage because there's no percentage. So Tiamat does summon damage. Which, as you can see, goes through the defenses. Anyway, now that that's over and done
準
with.
備は万端です。すごいにゃ
俺は生きなきゃいけないんだ。邪魔をするな。終わりだ。ここだ。
笑顔ならいつの日も大丈夫。お任
So
せ
this
くださ
does
い。
follow the kind
光のご加護。
of narrative trope of a new enemy is introduced and is strong, and then later on, when you find more of them,
好調のようですね。
they're weaker, right? Because the first golem we found had much higher HP than that. This one
進もう。立ち止まってはいら
folded
れない。
in like a turn and a half. Alright. Continuing along. We'll go with more Kaguya. We'll go dark this time. Just so we don't get
じゃ
countered.
あ私もオルキスちゃんのお父さんと同じ星の民なのかな。
It's
残
a,
念だが
that
それも
is
違う。
a very reasonable doubt to have.
君は星の民でも空の住人でもない。
Yeah, so Luria is just a massive
Kuroshi.
mystery box.
キレンは先ほどからそう言うが、ルリアの正体も知っているのか？
At least if we're gonna take the Black Knight
私が
words
知っているのは、ルリアは星の民ではないということだ。
at their
これはオルキスの父君から
face value.
星の民の生き残り本人から聞いたことだ。間違いはないだろうな。
If he was telling you that and telling you the truth, then it's very reliable information. And I don't really see a reason why you would lie about it. So Luria is a mystery
私は
being.
星の民でもなくてこの世界の人でもなくて、じゃあ私って何なんでしょう。
ルリア、確かにお前は誰とも違う異質な存在だ。おそらくは唯一無二のこの世界にたった一つの存在だろう。
私は一人ぼっちなんですね。
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
お前は本当にそう思っているのか？これだけの仲間に囲まれて一人ぼっちだと？笑わせるな。
So, if you look at...
それとも何か？
the script
お前は
here,
自分と全く同じ存在が欲しいのか？
and pay attention to the Black Knight and everyone she talks to and everything. In spoken dialogue, there's only one person that she refers to by name, and that is Luria. Right, in terms of, like, our crew. In the scripted dialogue, she also refers to the captain, the main character, but it's obviously not voiced, because we don't have the ability to do that. That would take a lot of effort. Right, there's a lot of combinations that people could make.
そんな鏡みたいなやつしかお前は認められないのか？
違います。
Yeah, so Luria is some sort of mystery being,
私
but you know, she's not, at least she's not going along her journey alone.
な、そうだろ。
We could be alone together.
そうですよね。
What kind of line is
そっ
that?
か。ごめんなさい。私、周りが見えなくなってたみたいです。
Yeah, she just got
大切な人た
confused.
ちが周りにこんなにたくさんいるのに、
And I've
一
said
人ぼっ
this
ちなんて。
a lot in the last couple chapters. This isn't the time or place for this
彼
conversation.
女だけじゃないぞ。私とてもう二度と君のそばを離れるつもりはな
We're
い。
in enemy territory
たく
and we're
く
busy.
せえじゃねえかよ。
Let's not have an in-depth conversation about friends and
そうよ。
identity.
私たちがい
We're
る
here on
の
a
に
mission.
一
We're
人ぼ
trying
っち
to
なんて。
do something.
今度そんなこと言ったら私怒っちゃうんだから。
Okay.
ありがとう、リオちゃん。でももう大丈夫です。
ねえオイゲン、やっぱりあなたの娘さん、私にはそう悪い子に思えないわ。
俺もそう思ってるさ。ただあいつは自分をどう思ってるんだろうな。
ありがとうございます、黒騎士さん。
This is a mistranslation. So, basically, Rosetta's saying that she doesn't think that, you know, that Apollonia, you know, Eugen's daughter, is all that bad. And Eugen says, yeah, you know, obviously. But he wonders what she thinks of herself. He's not curious as to what she thinks of him. I mean, he knows she hates him. But he's wondering if she thinks that she herself is a villain, like is a bad person.
礼を言われる覚えはないが。
私にはあります。黒騎士さんにお礼を言いたい理由が。それにさっき黒騎士さんはちゃんと私を見てくれましたよね。
I mean,
私を
sure.
通して見る誰かじゃなくて私自身を見てくれた。それが
It's
すっ
true.
ごく嬉しかったんです。
Right? She's not looking at you and reminiscing,
たまたま目に入っただけだ。
but she actually gave Luria some like real relevant advice, real
そうなん
relevant
ですね。
opinions. Sensible enough.
茶番はここまでだ。向こうからゴーレムが近づいてきている。油断していると足元をすくわれるぞ。
Alright, well, let's beat up more golems, I suppose. Not before we shoot some Imperial mages, I guess.
さすがだ。そこで。これなら。全力で行くわよ。話を。
I don't know, man. There's a lot of killing going on here for there to be idols from. I don't think it would be very good for their image.
話を。
行け。
甘い。甘いそれ。甘い。明日へかけていこう。カードが告げた通りやね。甘い。この覚悟はいいかしら。
Mass produced.
クリムバースト。
As opposed to the other ones which were like whole golem, rusted golem.
想定通りだ。
So we're getting a little evolution in our enemy line.
いいんだな、ルルーシュ。
綺麗事で世界は変えられない。
甘いそれ。悪いわね。ニコニーにかかれば当然でしょ。
Okay. Hey, there's a rank up. We take those. Got some Fate episodes to do later. Nice. Okay. We'll stick with Dark and move forward.
くそ、そう広いわけではないんだが、どうにも見つからんな。いっそ二手に分かれた方が賢明か。しらみつぶしに探していけば見つかるとは思うが。
I mean, that's true.
黒騎士、一つ私の問いに答えてくれないか。
The music's stopping. The mood
なん
is
だ
going to shift.
もう必要なことはあらかた話したと思うが。
では、その必要ないものの話だ。私たちが知る必要のない真実。その話をしよ
う。Okay. So, it's not a mistranslation necessarily. Just wanted to clarify that Catalina's saying, you know, let's talk about the things we don't need to know, right? Some stuff that you haven't said yet, that we don't need to know, but you haven't told us.
なんだと？
私は正直に言って今迷っている。私たちは貴殿を信用してもいいのか？
Of course not.
カタリ
ナ？俺はいいんじゃないかと思うぜ。信用しても。
I mean, Rackham, look, you've got some
ラビ島に来てからこっち、
stuff about you.
黒騎士は俺たちの知らなかったことをかなり教えてくれたしな。
True, but she hasn't told us some stuff that's really important. And again, there was that moment outside where she's
それは私もそう思う。
did not tell us what we were
だが
what she
そ
was
れだけで
going
は
to
ないん
do.
だ。
And that's a big
そうだ
red
ろう。
flag.
何が言いたい？
貴殿は私たちに嘘ないしいくつかの真実を意図的に隠している。
That's probably true.
それは貴様らが知る必要がないから話していないだけだ。
Yeah, and that's why it's hard to trust
本
you,
当に
right?
そうならどんなにいいだろうな。私も貴殿を信じたいと思っている。
I'm not even of the opinion that I want to trust her. She's been
だがな、
doing some strange things
私に
from
は
the very beginning.
私たちに必要のないはずの欠けた真実が気になって仕方がないんだ。
Right, and the other thing is
無用な好奇心は身を滅ぼすぞ。
she is like the Black Knight is the one that decided
好
that
奇
we
心
don't
じゃ
need
ない
to know.
私には守りたい者がいる。大切な存在がいる。貴殿と同じだ。
So if she decides that we don't need to know something, and we don't hear it,
だから
but we actually
不
needed
完
to
全
know
な
it,
真実ではダメなんだ。
then that's all
もし
going
ここで貴
according
殿を信
to
用し
the Black
ル
Knight's
リアに
plans.
何かあったのなら 私は不完全な真実で妥協した自分を一生許すことができないだろう。分かってもらえないか。
Alright, well, I'm sure that we all understand this line. This first part is very wrong.
私は不完全な真実で妥協した自分を一生許すことができないだろう。分かってもらえないか。
Essentially, she's saying something similar to the effect of, like, you know, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself who was, you know, basically operating under, you know, the information gained from like an incomplete picture of what happened. Right? So if Luria got hurt because of something, you know, she wouldn't be able to forgive herself for not pressing the matter further at this point. So I don't know where this came from, other than whoever translated this just not wanting to translate that line. To be fair, it would look very long in English.
エルステ帝国皇帝の姿を見たことがないと言ったな。
It's fairly long in Japanese too.
しかし、貴殿の話を聞くに、エルステ帝国の前身であるエルステ王国の王族の血筋はもうない。
True.
私も姿を見たことはないが、そもそもエルステ帝国には皇帝などいないのではないか。
It's a good question. If there is an emperor, who is it?
それとも今の皇帝は最後に残った王族のオルキスではない、別の血筋の誰かを立てたものなのか。
And it does make sense, right? We know that Frisia is
どうだろうな。
has said that she's received commands from the emperor.
オルキスを元に戻したいという貴殿の目的は聞いたが、貴殿はそれをどうやって成し遂げるつもりなんだ。
Thank you,
その方法
Catalina.
を
Very
私たちはまだ
important
聞いていない。
question. We should have had this conversation a decent amount of time ago, before we were here in enemy territory.
そうだな。確かにまだ私はそれを話していない。
On that one point, I will concede it is important enough that we've stopped and forced the issue now, before we've managed to actually get her back.
悪いがそれもできない。私の目的は貴様らとのお友達ごっこではないからな。
Again, translation issue. She's saying, you know, sorry, I can't. I'm not here. You know, my objective is not, you know, to play at being friends with you all.
私は私の目的のために己
Again,
のすべてを費やすつも
she
り
is
だ。
raising the
その邪魔は誰
biggest
にも
red
させない。
flags right now.
私から言えるのはそれだけだ。
Biggest
私たちは
giant
貴
red
殿を
flags.
信用してもいいのか。
それを決めるのは私ではない。それぐらいは
Also
わかるだろう。
true.
そうだな。
Subject of the second sentence is wrong. She's basically saying, I'm sure you recognize that. And she's basically saying, yeah, I mean, that's true.
気落ちしている場合ではないぞ。まだオルキスは見つかっていないのだ。今しばらく
Red
貴
flags,
様ら
man.
の力を貸してもらうぞ。
This Black Knight has been nothing but a bundle of red flags since we have been doing this whole bust out of Amalthea thing, which I still think we went about in completely the wrong way.
甘いかな。悪いわ、そこ。そこかな。甘い。
愚か者。
それこれのそこ。準備はできている。やるじゃない。
Alright, so we're moving on to the next wave. Hey, it's a big golem.
これで決める。
That is a perfect target for a dark attack.
綺麗事で世界は変えられない。
But yeah, going back to the whole Emperor thing. Right, we've seen in a cutscene, Frisia was telling someone that she received instructions from the Emperor. So we do have to have this wonder, like, is there an Emperor? If there is, who isn't? You know, and then we ask, you know, is Frisia's plan, or is it the Emperor's plan? We don't really know what Frisia's trying to do, but she is trying to do something. The Black Knight says she's doing something that will sacrifice the organs. And, I mean, obviously that runs counter to both of our objectives. So, I understand the idea of stopping. But it does raise the question as to, is she operating under another person's wishes, another, like the Emperor's orders? It's a good question. We don't know. Dark bow? Yeah, that's probably a good thing to pick up, because bows are pretty rare. The only bow I can think of that's relevant in the dark is not available for quite a long time.
どっかに隠れてやがるのか?
オルキスちゃんだけじゃなくて、あの宰相さんも出てこないわよね。
Nope.
まさかとは思うけどよ。もしかしてあいつらこの島には。
That's entirely possible. We don't really know where she is.
とにかくもう少し探してみましょう。
We haven't found any clear indication that they are here other than the Black Knight saying that they are. I'm just saying, it's kind of suspicious. Okay. Well then. So, patience is being tested. I get that. Hey, look! We're gonna unlock a bow that's not very good. I mean, we'll probably still equip it, but that's only because we don't have anything else to put in that slot. Alright. Moving forward. Earth team. Our Earth isn't particularly strong, so we're gonna bring a real summon. That's not the one I meant to click on. I meant to click on the gorilla. I mean, did you ever consider the possibility that you were wrong? It's entirely possible. You weren't there when she was taken there, to wherever she is, so she might just be somewhere else.
まだ王宮をくまなく探し切ったわけじゃねえが。オルキスちゃんにしろ、宰相さんにしろ、出てくる気配がねえな。
You probably should have asked the soldiers that were here some questions.
ありえない。奴がここ以上に執着する場所があるというのか。
Rather than immediately killing them.
落ち着け、アポロ。まだ探してねえ部屋もあるはずだ。
He actually finishes his sentence there in the Japanese.
必ず見つけ出さなければ。頼む。何としてもあの人形を探し出してくれ。
Yeah, so if she's here, then she's hidden. If she's not here, then it feels like Apollonia is kind of projecting how she would act onto the Prime Minister. So I'm curious as to which side we're on here in the story. Because it could be either still.
見つけたぞ侵入者どもめ
Where did you
貴様らの
jump
命
down?
運もここで
A nameless Imperial soldier is never going to win
黙れ
unless they're going to
ゲ
get
ス
a
が
name.
二度と口を開くな
Right?
くそありえないなぜ見つからない
Alright.
ここにメフォラシュにいないのだとすればどこへ
Calm down.
ここにいたか侵入者めみんなこっちだ応援を頼む
今の私はすこぶる機嫌が悪い元よりないが今の私に慈悲など期待してくれるなよ
Okay. Look. That line where she's just like, look, if you didn't have any mercy before, then what's changed now? That's the real question, right? Also, you're not even fighting them. Why are you making us kill them? It's okay. You know, I forgive you, because we gain experience in these battles. Alright. Keep going. Yep. Yeah, and we'll definitely see if we look at our classes that we've been kind of spreading out our class experience at least a little bit. It's mostly just because of availability of main hands, but I don't really mind not mastering classes in any particular order right now.
どういうことだ
We already have almost the entire core set of sub skills.
これで手がかりはなしか
やっぱりエルステの今の首都に行ったんじゃないの
Entirely possible. I brought it up in the
アガスティアか
I brought it up in
あり
the
えない話ではないと思うが
Amalthea episode
あのフリーシアってやつは何が目的なの
that I would make a base in Augusta.
それが分かれば
Some
今
ruins.
どこにいるのかも分かるんじゃないか
Because that's where all the soldiers and subordinates are.
奴の目的かそれが分かっていれば苦労はしない密偵を送り込みはしたが分かったのは手段の一部だけだ奴は何らかの目的達成の手
She
段と
actually
して
says
あの人
that
形
the
やルリア
spy
を欲してい
discovered
る
only part of
それ
her,
は間違いない
her
しか
methods
し
rather than
その
her
目的は不明だ
motives.
だが求める手段から見て聖書銃絡みなのは確かだろうな
And that makes sense.
聖書銃
No, something
聖書
else.
銃が絡んでるってだけじゃどの島に行ったってのは突き止められねえな
I mean, they're not incredibly common.
フ
But
リーシアの
they're
一族
common
は
enough
このメフォラシュで代々エルス
that
テ
it
王家
doesn't
に
give
仕
us
え
a
てきたのだ
huge. It doesn't narrow it down by that much.
奴がここを選ばないということはここではないどこかを選ばざるを得ない理由があるということだ
け
Yeah.
どそれもわからないんじゃ動きようがないわまずは手がかりを見つけなくっちゃ
So this line, if she chose not to come here, the second part is basically she had no choice but to go somewhere else, right? Probably for her plans, essentially. Is at least what the Black Knight is thinking. And we still have to find
そ
where
れ
she
なら
is.
その首都のアガスティアってとこに行ってみようぜ
Yeah, you know, let's deliver Luria right
な
to
んて
their
言っ
home
たってエ
their
ル
home
ステの
base.
首都なんだ
何かわかるかもしれねえしな。
Is it just me, or does that sound like a really dumb idea?
しかし B 君、アガスティアは今はエルステ帝国の心臓部だ。このラビ島に降り立った時以上に侵入は容易ではないだろうな。
そっか、そうだよな。
ともかくオルキスちゃんがここにいないと分かった以上、とどまってたってしょうがね
え。Okay. Yeah, so they're not here.
次にどこへ向かうかはここを脱出してから考えようぜ。
Ultimately, it kind of feels like we wasted our time. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it was worthwhile coming here. All right, trying to leave Ravi Island. Voice from behind. Who could it possibly be?
そんなに急いでどちらにいらっしゃるおつもりですか？
So, I have a question. How'd you get here?
リーシャさん？
Isn't this island under like blockade by the Imperial Army?
小娘が何の用だ。今は貴様と遊んでやる暇は。
Did you do the same thing we did and just rush in? Because that's pretty
小娘じゃ
dumb.
ない。私はもう小娘なんかじゃない。
Yeah, she's saying she's not a little girl anymore. She's not. The second line just
私には
making her seem like
あなたたちのことが正直よくわかりません。
really
でもモニカさん
defensive.
はあなたたちのことを高く買っている。現に私とモニカさんを退けてあなたたちはアマルティアを脱出した。それが事実なのは分かっています。でも納得できないんです。どうしてあなたたちがモニカさんに認められたのか。
Yeah, she doesn't get it. She doesn't know why Monica is
だから
acknowledging
試させてくだ
our
さい。
power, our strength.
再び私のこの刃で。
生きがいいな小娘。しかしさっきも言ったように我々には遊んでいる時間はない。
Look, the last time we fought Licia as a boss, she was very, very much
剣の相手
non-threatening.
が欲しいのならとっとと帰ってあのチビにでも。
I mean, if she wants to force the issue, she can.
私はフリーシア最初がどこへ行ったのかを知っています。
Okay.
何？
Well, that's pretty good
秩
bait.
序の機空団第4機空艇団はファータグランデ空域の各所に駐在員を置いています。
Truth be told, that is pretty good bait. That is exactly what the Black Knight wants to hear.
そのうちの一人から連絡がありました。エルステ帝国の戦艦が寄港しフリーシア最小ほか数名が上陸したと。
ほう。うぞうむぞうの集まりにしては良い働きをしてくれたようだな。
I don't know if we can really
それで
judge them as
貴
being,
様はその情報を盾に
you know, like
我々に何を求める？
a worthless bunch or like disorganized or anything like that.
ま、求められたところで従ってやるかどうかは別だがな。
Yeah, I mean,
私が求めるのは再戦です。私に認めさせてください。あなたたちという存在を。
I'll say it right now, you're not gonna win this fight.
そして私に教えてください。今
Unless
の
you've
私に
learned a
は
lot of
船長として何が足りていないのか。
a lot of new tricks. You're not gonna win
非
this
常
fight.
に申し上げにくいが、もしこれが独断専行なら船長としては慎重さや責任感が足りていないんじゃないか？
Hey, that's a pretty effective judgment, Catalina. Good job.
それはそのとにかく
Basically,
あ
you
なたたちと
really
再
should
び
not
手を
have come
交え
here
れば
by yourself
何かがわかる気がするん
under
です。
your own, you know, for personal reasons.
モニカさんだけじゃなくてきっと父さんも
because that's extremely irresponsible. We haven't met him yet.
私はまだまだ2人には遠く及ばない。だけど近づきたいんです。
Okay. I mean, fair enough, I guess.
だから待っています。あなたたちの気空艇グランサイファーのそばで。
So, this line isn't entirely accurately translated, but it's an extremely awkward line anyway, because she's explicitly saying, "I'll wait by your airship, the Grand Cipher." I'm thinking to myself, one, you could just call it by its name if you wanted to, like you do in the English text, and two, we know what the name is, you don't have to clarify it. Anyway, Licia wants a rematch for some reason. She wants us to beat her up. I don't think that that's a healthy thing.
あの小娘も少しは骨があるようじゃないか。
I mean,
あまり待たせるのも悪いな。さっさと行って早々にぶちのめしてやろうじゃないか。
Yeah, we might as well. At least I'm kind of on the same page as Black Knight for this. We've made our decision, as wrong as I think it was. So now that we're here, the best thing to do is to just get Licia to stop chasing us. That would be it'd be really irritating if we keep showing up.
終わりだ。
私が相手になろう。
終わりだ。
Also, the question still remains, how did she get here? That was not answered, and it was not addressed.
せめてもの情けだ。安らかに散れ。我が奥義お見せしよう。愛し。
やや。手負いと思って侮るなよ。
いいぞ。その調子だ。
I'm also wondering what kind of mutations could come up in a cactus to turn it into a monster. But that's not really relevant to the story that we're trying to go through right now. It's more just a strange question that comes up because of the plot. Also, why is this random cactus monster fighting with the Imperials? That's another question that comes up. Is it a result of their experiments? Could be. I wonder if there's any lore on these things in Blur's journal. I might take a look at that in a bit.
ステップ決まったね、チカちゃん。
Okay, almost level 15, so that means that we're almost getting our last ability for this class. Wind. Wind means Kaguya, because wind is strong enough that we don't need the
なんだか妙なことになっちまったが、ともかくこれで次に行くべき島は見えてきたな。
I guess.
でもあの人に勝たなきゃいけないのよね。
I don't really think that'll be an issue.
そうでなきゃ教えてくれたところで逃がしてくれるとは思えないもの。
I mean,
どうということはない。今度こそ骨身に敗北の味を染み込ませ、二度と歯向かわぬよう教育してやる。
calm down.
果たしてそう簡単にいくかな。
Yes, I imagine it will not be difficult.
何？
リーシャさん、なんだかアマルティアで会った時とは 少し違ってる気がしました。
Yeah, she's got some more, I don't know,
なんて
desperation?
いうか、迷ってるんだけど吹っ切れてるような。
I don't know. Also, she's not.
あの子覚悟を決めたのね。
Lyria's not saying
正
that
面から
she's
壁にぶつかっていく覚悟を。
becoming stronger or anything. It's more like she's saying she's, you know, confused is a pretty decent way of saying it, but also that she's kind of like, I don't know, relieved of some kind of burden kind of thing. And yeah, she's
そういう子って
she's just going
強いわよ。
straight forward.
きっと全てを私たちにぶつけてくるわ。
I still don't think it'll be anything resembling an issue.
私とて覚悟などとうの昔に固めている。
Not a horrible way of translating it. It's
あの子
not like
娘に教え
literally
てやる
accurate,
さ。
but I like
背負
the
っているものの
nuance.
違いというものをな。
'Cause it's the same nuance, right? That both sides have made up their mind, but Apollonia is saying, you know, I've made up my mind way back in the past to do what I'm planning on doing, whatever that is. I still gotta say, massive red flags, but our crew refuses to look at them. Catalina did,
アポロちゃん
but
あな
nobody
た
else did.
アポロちゃん、王宮の方で何かあったみたいだけど。
Yep.
まずいな。騒ぎはここまで伝わっていたか。
I mean, is that really a problem for us?
ねえ、アポロちゃん、まさかとは思うんだけどね。アポロちゃんはオルキス様を見つけたのかい？10年前のあの日から町を離れてたのも全部オルキス様のためなんだろう？それでこの王宮の騒ぎだけど、アポロちゃんとオルキス様に何か関係があるのかい？それなら私たちにも。
それには及びません。オルキスは必ず元気な姿で連れて帰ってきます。
Yeah, so old lady there is saying that she wanted.
必ずどんな手段を使っても
So she's kind of
どんな
implying
非道
still,
に
right,
手を
that
染めようとも
the people of Mephorash
町の
still have a
みんな
lot
が
of
この国のみ
love
んな
and
が望んでい
loyalty
る
for their royal
底抜けに
family.
明るいあのオルキスを連れて帰ってきます。
So
誓って
if
それを約束します。
if Apollonia has found Orcus
だから
and she tells
も
them
う少し
that,
だけ時間を。
then they will instantly
アポ
rally
ロちゃ
behind
ん、
him.
あなたは本当に変わらないね。
And
いっつもオルキス様のことばっかりで。
right, they've
でもね、
moved on
よ
to an
ーくお
extent,
聞
but
き。私たちが心配しているのは、アポロちゃん、あなたのこともなんだよ。だってあなた、ちっとも笑わないじゃないか。おかげですぐには気づけなかったよ。
true. Black Knight is a very
昔はあ
serious
んなに
figure.
オルキス様と一緒に楽しそうに笑ってたじゃないか。
それは昔の話です。
いや、今も昔も変わらんよ。
I don't know what things can
何か
change.
辛いことでもあるのかい？そんなに眉間にしわ寄せて、せっかくのべっぴんが台無しじゃないか。私たちが心配してるのはオルキス様だけじゃないんだ。
You just said that a few lines ago.
何か辛いことがあったのならいつでもこの町に帰っておいで。 私たちは
I mean,
この町で待ってるから。
You can say that all you want, but there's
この
like a
町だっ
blockade
て
here.
もう何千年も変わらないんだ。
It makes it a lot
いつまで
harder
だって
to
あ
actually
な
just
たを
come
待
here
ってるよ。
casually.
おい、待てよ、先に行くなって。
すまないご婦人、私たちは先を急ぐ理由が。
うんうん。そういうことなら行っておいで。そうだ、そこの青い髪のルリアちゃんだったかね。
はい。
アポロちゃんのことどうかよろしくお願いね。
Okay.
うん、いい返事だ。
さあ行こうぜ。いくらなんでもあの黒騎士を一人にはしておけねえ。
Oh man, Rackham, come on, read the room. You're not supposed to call it a Black Knight right now. We're in the presence of someone who knows her.
いや、これな。ライブ楽しんでいってね。
ここだ。
やりました、主様。
ここだ。これな。Fire elemental enemy in the stage that they recommended. I bring a wind.
ランスロット。ME ブースト。ここだ。
これな。
Side enemy. This is like a main wave enemy.
準備は万端です。
That's kind of a mean thing to do.
すごいな。
I mean, we're good, but it still feels really mean.
俺は生きなきゃいけないんだ。邪魔をするな。
これな。お任せください。光のご加護を。
Yeah.
頑張ります。
やるね。
I mean, if we wanted to get technical about it, we could be bringing the
進もう。
same team
立ち止まってはいられない。
every single encounter. And that's because the enemies don't have elemental resistance. It would just make fire encounters harder and wind encounters harder because of the debuff thing. So if you really wanted to only invest in doing one element at the early game, you can do that. And wind is a very good element to invest in early, because you can probably see all of the freebies you get from wind, and you know the wind characters you get are all pretty good. All right. Yeah, Black Knight. You know, hearing there's a place for you here. Kind of probably feels like her mission's been is undermined in some way. That way, be like, I'm trying to save Orcus so I can, you know, restore my proper place, right? Like, so I can be by her side, which is where I'm supposed to be, and where she's supposed to be is, you know, back here. I don't know.
私はもう立ち止まれないのだ。私の手は汚れてしまった。もうあそこには帰れないというのに。
Also true, yeah. Can't go back to how things used to be.
もう私には何もない。彼女を取り戻すまで、私のこの手にはもう何も。
Because she made her decision, right?
思ってたんですね。
ルリア。
Luria, come on.
大丈夫ですよ。
When did you get the power to sneak up on people?
アポロニアさん、あなたには私たちがいます。こうやってすぐそばにいます。
だからなんだというのだ。
Yeah, I
お前たちは
mean,
い
you
ずれ
say
私の
that,
敵にな
right?
る。私たちは同じ道を歩むことはできない。
But we don't. Her objectives are obviously going to be bad for us because she refuses to tell us what they're going to be.
いつかどこかで道をたがえなくちゃいけないかもしれない。
Right. How are you going to restore Orcus?
でも
I can't tell
今
you.
は一緒です。
Red flags.
ずっ
I'm
とじゃ
telling
なくて
you,
も
it's not
今
gonna
だ
go
けでも
well.
私たちは一緒です。
お前はそれがどういうことを意味するのか分かっているのか。お前が取った私のこの手はいつか剣を握りお前たちに刃を向ける。それが分かっているのか。
分かってます。でもそれでも私はこうしていたいんです。
Ah, yes, Luria, the biggest.
ルリア、
She's got the
お前は強いな。
biggest
当然です。
good-hearted
だ
nature
って
of the whole
私
crew.
のそばにはいつだって
When we call
私を強くしてくれる人がい
when we
ますから。
call the crew a bunch of
知ってますか？
good-hearted idiots,
一人じゃないって
Luria is the most
それだけ
good-hearted,
で無
most
敵
idiot
な
of
んで
all.
す。
お前だってそれを知ったのは最近だろ。
ですね。でもようやく気づけました。ありがとう。さあ行きましょう。リーシャさんがオルキスちゃんが待ってます。
Alright.
貴様にはみっともない姿を見せてしまったな。
Well, yeah, I mean, you probably should
さ
have
っきまでのことは忘れろ。
bottled it up, but I mean,
二度と
I can
思い出すんじゃ
understand.
ないぞ。
Can't always do it. I would usually say not the time, but it was an emotional outburst,
そうだ。
so it's hard to control
素
that.
直なのはそれだけで美徳だからな。その素直さを忘れるなよ。さて、それでは行こうか。我々を待つ決着の場へとな。
She doesn't actually say Alicia's name there. I'm not even convinced she knows her name.
来ましたね。ちゃんと逃げずに。
I mean, why would I run from you?
我々に逃げる要素があると思っていたの
The
か。
last time we fought, we easily beat you, and
でも逃げなか
Monica,
った
who
その
is
判断を
supposed to
賢
be
明だとは思いま
much
せん。
stronger than you.
ほう、大口を叩くようになったじゃないか。
確かに。やっぱ何か違うな。
I'm not intimidated.
なんでだろう。なんか妙に緊張しちゃう。
剣の腕というのは一朝一夕で上達するものじゃない。
That's true.
しかし心持ち次第で、覚悟次第で、踏み込みや体さばきには大きな違いが生まれるんだ。心を決めた者はためらわない。強いぞ、今の彼女は。
I can definitely agree with the focus part, where if you're
覚悟なら
well
俺たちだって
focused,
負けちゃいねえさ。
then you'll do better because you're not, thinking about
そうね。
things that you don't
それ
need
に
to.
ついに彼女もいろいろと固めてきたみたいだし。
But yeah, they're trying to make this whole show
剣を抜け、小娘。
about
小娘ではありません。
Alicia being stronger this
私は
time or whatever, but
私は
I'm still not
秩
convinced
序の
that
気
it
空
makes
団
any sense.
第四気空艇団船団長リーシャです。
Because she wasn't holding back last time.
いい目だな。強い決意が見える。だが、私も負けるわけにはいかないのだ。力を貸せ。ここは覚悟の戦場だ。貴様の覚悟、私の覚悟でねじ伏せてくれよ。
Man, that line being like, we're it's a battle of resolve, and I'm going to force yours down with mine. That's a way of saying things. Alright, so what does this do? I did not bring a Dispel. That is suboptimal. Oh, I did bring a Dispel. Oh, that was coincidence. I did not know that this fight had this buff that shows up at the beginning. Alright, well, I mean, that's just, that's just... Hold on. Okay, yeah. Boosts debuff resistance, so we want to get our debuffs in as soon as possible. Summon to dispel the reflect. She doesn't have a mode bar, so I might as well just use this skill move. Yeah, that really wasn't any harder than the first battle with her. It would have been harder if we didn't have a way to get rid of the spell. But if you just have a Dispel, which I could easily just have cross-class with Dispel. It would have been trivially easy. Alright, we got a bow. Catalina can be uncapped further. We'll see about that. We got a mystical golem kiln, whatever that means. Alright, here's another side story. We'll get there eventually. Obviously. I don't really see the logic. Where she lost when she was fighting alongside someone, you know, who she knows pretty well, and they have decent teamwork. And she comes out here to fight us alone. Alright, so there's a strange bit of nuance that's missing in this line, where she's saying that if you hear that, it's embarrassing even if I'm hearing it from a girl. As if she was saying, like, you know, being complimented by guys is, that kind of thing. It's a strange bit of nuance that's missing. It doesn't really matter. To show, it's because it shows a little bit more of Leisha's personality. I mean, to be fair, if she's not with Frisia, then we could go back, or then we can capture Frisia and do some interrogations. So it's still a direct line that leads to finding Orcus. Why are you so surprised? Are you surprised because we're not going to an island we've never been to before? Because, I mean, this is the first time that we'd be going back to someplace. Alright. Indeed, we do return to the Lunacy Archipelago for the next chapter of the story. Before that, though, I'm gonna go back to the homepage. Yes, we're gonna collect some login rewards. This is a result of the time of day at which I'm playing. And we're going to look and see the stuff that we obtained. Now you'll see we have a bunch of stuff in the time limited crate. That's because our weapon inventory is full. I'm gonna deal with that right now. Just sell some garbage because we don't need that. And we're gonna pick up this Leviathan bow. So, in our grid building episode, we did talk about the Leviathan bow a little bit. In that we basically said it's kind of worthless. It's not entirely the worst item in the game. It's not. There are worse weapons. But its only skill is boosting Water Allies max HP. That said, if we need a bow main hand, it's serviceable. It's not the best, but it's far from, you know, it's better than nothing, right? And in the case of our water team right now, we have nothing. So, we're gonna go ahead and equip that bow. It'll do better than this off-element Swordian Dimlos, at least. Right. Put that in. A little better attack. Which I guess is something we could say. Like, weapons do have different stats based on what kind of weapon they are, but usually we don't care about that. All right. So what we obtained, other than that, is a wonder. Being the Mystical Golem Kiln, giving a 5% bonus to upgrades for Earth items and characters. So characters part, not important. Items, pretty useful. It's not the best, but it helps. Alright. I don't remember. I don't think that we got anything else. There's no map piece, because we didn't fight a primal. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that that's everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to end the video here, and next time we show up, we will be heading back to the Lunacy Archipelago to chase down Frisia. This has been Shadow SP, playing Granblue Fantasy. I'm sure you know that, if you've been watching all the way to the end. And for those of you who have, thank you very much. I suspect there aren't very many of you. Maybe 0. We'll find out at some point. But if somebody is watching, thanks again. I hope you're enjoying the ride. And maybe some of my wild theories. And my complaints about people having conversations in really weird places. But that aside, I'm gonna be signing off. Thanks for watching.